Talking about my interests is extremely difficult for me. I often feel jealous looking at other people's videos where they can just off script rip into their favorite thing in extreme detail without pausing. It's something I wish I could do too. Another issue is that I don't really have a thing like that at the moment. I could talk about my comic or my OCs, but I always feel like my words aren't really doing anything, and I feel like you could definitely understand better by just reading the comic. I don't really feel the urge to go into deep verbal analysis of characters I like. I'm not an essayist that can write pages and pages of theory stemming from my blurbo. I feel like the only way I'm able to express my love for a character is just incomprehensible growling and drawing them over and over again, which I barely do in the first place when it comes to other people's characters because I'm not a fan art person. I express myself largely through art and animation, so I figured the best way to get obsessed with something, with the goal of improving my art as a whole, is to get engrossed in a fandom of some kind. I tried with my own things, and while it did work for a while, I need something new. I want to improve my semi-realistic art style. A lot of artists I look up to have this cartoon realism style that I'm really envious of. So ideally, I'd get into a fandom with either real people in it or some kind of live-action show. Unfortunately, neither of those really appeal to me. Maybe a video game with a realistic style? Not many come to mind that I've enjoyed that much. The only one that I can think of right now off the top of my head is Detroit Become Human, but I don't even like that one. Then it hit me. A game franchise that has a lot of material, a semi-realistic art style, and I enjoy it enough to potentially make fan art for it. Final Fantasy VII, baby! I still haven't played the original, but I watched Penny Snapcube play the remix, and I watched her watch Crisis Core, so I'm aware enough of the franchise for me to know I like it. So all I have to do now is gather up enough hyperfixation points for me to get obsessed with it. That way, my art will improve, and I'll have something I enjoy enough to join in on info dumping with my friends. So, I revisited Final Fantasy VII. When I was first exposed to Cloud Strife, I was 16, looking at pornographic fan art of him, and I thought he was the artist OC. It wasn't until years later that I learned he had multiple games to go with him. I had always thought Final Fantasy was a game series that wouldn't really appeal to me. I'm not really into games that take themselves too seriously, and at that time, that's what I thought it was. My first time getting into the game proper was watching Penny Snapcube play the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's when I learned it's actually really charming and nice and fun. I thought it was just an RPG where you fight shit and there's just like war and stuff. And there is all that, but it's a lot more goofy than I was expecting. It has humor, but not so much humor that it undercuts serious moments, and the serious moments don't feel too suffocating or like the game is trying too hard, you know? There's also a funny cat, so points for that too. When the cat shows up, it feels kind of like in Kingdom Hearts where there's all these people and there's suddenly beside Sora sidles up Mickey the Mouse. And you're like, oh hi Mickey, I didn't know this was allowed. Cloud as a main character is super refreshing for me. He does his best to be the immovable object, but then Tifa and Aerith, the true unstoppable forces, come along and run him right over. You can tell just how much Cloud loves those two and how much they love each other, and they all love each other, and all three of them are just so in love with each other, and it's a beautiful love, and I love friendship and friendship and romance, it's so beautiful. I love how much personality all the characters have. The expression work on their models is amazing. I can really feel like I'm getting every minuscule emotion on their faces, and I love it. I feel like I agree with most people when they say that games that are too high fidelity or like too detailed don't really get the point of being a video game, where it's like, oh, I'm not playing a video game to have it look like real people. I'm playing a video game to have like it look stylized and like cute and stuff or whatever. But with Final Fantasy VII, I feel like I don't really mind that it looks super realistic, and I actually like it a lot. I don't know, the art style is just, it's not too realistic, but it is realistic, I don't know, I just like it. Remake and Rebirth are just such beautiful games in general. The environment design is just gorgeous, and the rendered cutscenes are just, it's so good. It sounds like I'm being sponsored to talk about this, but I'm not, it's just really that good. And the cat, man, the fucking cat. I'm avoiding saying his name because they pronounce it phonetically wrong in Rebirth, and I don't like saying Kate Sith with my mouth. Even though I'm sure it doesn't really matter. Aerith got turned into Aerith, and I am fine calling her Aerith, so I guess who cares? Kenshi just sounds cooler, though. I don't know. Oh yeah, I should talk about the art. I've never drawn Final Fantasy fan art of any kind before, so I started us off with some studies of the characters at their purest forms. Tifa was the one who gave me the most trouble. I had to go out and look at other people's fan art to see how they stylized her, and I had to look at the, like, original game's art for it, because I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to do it on my own. I think her hair gave me the most trouble, because unlike everyone else's, it's almost perfectly straight, and I struggle with drawing hair like that. I was really trying to keep the essence of the art style while adding my own flair into it. My style is the most noticeable in the nose, I think, since I go out of my way not to draw it, and instead I did a little shine. My favorite characters to draw are Yuffie and Cloud. Yuffie, because she's just so silly and makes so many expressions and I just love her so much. Yuffie, she is my favorite character, I love her so much. Cloud, kind of for the opposite reason. He's very inexpressive, but I find it more fun to draw him expressing emotions more subtly, and striking that balance is really fun for me. Cloud gets put into a dress during the wall market sequence in Remake, and this one is my favorite. I put it on the screen now. I think Cloud really is the most attractive man in all of the world, and I struggle drawing him for that reason. He's too pretty, and he pisses me off, and I need him to leave some for the rest of us. I can hardly draw him when he's too busy being pretty all the goddamn time, which is why I'm making this video, so I learn. I get, like, aggression with attractive characters. I just want to bite their heads off or bake them into a pie and eat them angrily. I feel similarly about Tifa and Aerith. I'm crazy, they're so beautiful. I put pictures up on screen right now. They get so many outfits, I love playing toys and dressing up in my little dolls. The entire Walmart scene with Tifa, Cloud, and Aerith, and all of their dresses, oh my god, I love them so much. They need to stop being so delightful. It took me about a year to finish watching Penny play through all of Rebirth. I started at the end of June 2024, and I finished a week or two ago, at the beginning of June 2025. When it comes to long series, I tend to start them, get really into them, then take a long break from watching before returning up to multiple years later and getting obsessed with them again for a little while, which is exactly what happened with FF7. Apparently people didn't like Chadley. I'm completely out of the loop in terms of what people liked or disliked because the game came out a year ago and I'm not really involved in social aspects of the fandom. So I'm basing this off of what I've heard through Penny's playthrough, but I found Chadley delightful. He and Mai were both fun and silly and I loved them, but apparently people didn't like them. I guess they thought they were annoying, or that they talked too much, but I just thought they were silly. There's a segment of the game where Cloud is looking for someone to say a code word to, the code word being the mayor, and the person will in turn say the best. The amount of times I've said the mayor to myself in Cloud voice is actually ridiculous since watching this playthrough. I love Penny's improv bits where she just does the voice of the character and just makes them say whatever she wants.
Hey, do you have any Capri Sun? I'll just check. The fuck? Hey, what the fuck are Kool-Aid jammers? You need to get your priorities in order. I didn't know Aerith was living in a fucking prison.
I'm sorry.
You better be. Capri Sun. Tomorrow. That was a great reaction. You did it again, Cloud. You're so personable. Full of love and energy. Everyone understands you.
Eventually this will just evolve into Penny Snapcube clips. But you know, who's complaining about that, huh? I love Cloud and Sephiroth so much. Sephiroth is a stalker freak who's obsessed with Cloud, and Cloud is just as obsessed with him, albeit in a different way considering he's actively being terrorized by him, but I love watching their relationship unfold on screen. It's so interesting to me, and I'm just so entertained by freak men. I need him to get weirder now. After watching Penny play the beginning of Rebirth, it made me kind of sad to see how almost normal Sephiroth was, relatively speaking. He was just a normal guy, and it's so cool to watch his descent. There's this one exchange he has with teen Tifa that stood out to me, where Tifa talks about how cool it is that Cloud and Sephiroth get to go on trips around the world, and Sephiroth goes trips. I think you mean business trips, which are no fun at all. And I don't know, I just felt so human, and it made me crazy. I wanted to thank you for getting this far into the video and indulging my enjoyments of these games. As of writing the script, I've decided to begin rewatching Penny Played Rebirth, even though I just finished the playthrough a couple weeks ago. I'll be honest, the main reason is because I missed the bow wow wow song, and I want to hear it and Penny's reaction to it in the game again, but also because I want to see all the foreshadowing stuff, of course. But it's mainly the bow wow wow. Go on, my little stamp, fight for his little stamp. It's the best song in the entire game, I think, in my opinion.
It's probably Corneo's pet. And we were dinner.